All right, let's talk about types and K6 files. So Grafana has this nice template repository, K6 template TypeScript, and it shows you how you can have TypeScript K6 files. Right? It's pretty neat. However, when using it, I ran into things that I didn't fall in love with, namely the fact that before you can run a script, you have to build it. It has to go to a build folder, which is get ignored. That's fine. And you have to execute your K6 script targeting that build folder, which means anytime you want to make a change to your K6 script, you have to build, right? So run build first, and then K6 run something in the build folder. That's too much work. If your build time takes long, then it's just going to slow the feedback mechanism, which is not great, right? If you have a CI, of course, it's going to be slower too, because before you can execute the script, you're going to have to build. So you want to have the benefits of TypeScript, but you want to stay with the nice modular JavaScript K6 where that file can go anywhere. As long as you have installed the binary once in your machine, it will just execute without any problems. But we also want type checking, right? So here's the secret sauce. Install TypeCheck. Right? That just by itself and the @TSCheck comment, let's just remove this for now. So let's say we have nothing, okay? We have this simple function. It says any. So first thing we do is add JSDocs to it. So we're saying A is a number, B is a number, it returns a number, and we get some documentation, but still no type checking. So it will accept something like this. Of course, that's because I have a JSconfig file, but basically what you want to have is this TSCheck in the beginning, right? Then you'll have some type safety. Okay. Now, uh, let's say you have like an internal library, and I demoed that last time, but we have that. And each file, each function in there has JSDocs. It has documentation to show you what kind of argument you should be passing. So if you don't, for instance, you're getting a token, it's an object that takes an email, password, and API version. Everything's optional. So either you pass nothing or you pass an object with exactly those properties. And if any of the properties do not match, or if you don't pass an object, then it's going to tell you, hey, you're not passing it right, right? As long as you have the TSCheck and there's some documentation. So the question is then, your ID is great. How do you get the CLI also? Now all you have to do is just install TypeScript. You can also install types K6 there. So you can add the types into your compiler options, right? Now this is a all JS project, so I'm just using a JS config. But if you're a TypeScript project, you're adding your K6 SOAs to it. This is just going to work. You may have to figure out the configuration a little bit. But if you have that, then let's see, what do we have? Script. Yeah, if you specify this one, then you should be in good hands, right? So type check, right? And it's going to find the type issues that you might have, even in the CLI. That means it's also going to work in CI, right? So all you would have to do is anywhere in your CI, maybe you will add type check, I don't know, name check, let's say, and then yarn type check. And whatever failed in my CLI is also going to fail in CI. So this way, you can still have your amazing K6 test suites that are super modular. So you don't have to build to run those TypeScript files anymore. And then you get your type checking, you get your JSDocs, um, you get your checking in the CLI. So just like you would in any regular, yeah, you can do this with just Node, right? Just JavaScript. So it applies to K6 too. I just realized nobody's talking about it, right? Instead, they're trying to make things work with TS, and it's very clunky, right? Because the build folder, it just slows everything down. And that's not K6. Like K6 is fast. You change something, you get immediate feedback. You can put that JS file anywhere. That's beautiful. Right? But as soon as you bring TypeScript into it, nah, it just adds that extra layer of work. And that's not good. So that's all. Enjoy. Now you have the capability to have type checking with your JavaScript files from K6. Again, all you have to do is TSCheck, add the @TSCheck comment to the top. So you'll install TSCheck and then install TypeScript. You can have a JS config file. If you have a TypeScript project, that's a TS config file. That's fine. Just you'll have to figure out the configuration a little bit probably, but it's going to work, right? And you're gonna get the type. You're gonna get the type checking, and that's great, right? Best of both worlds. All right, enjoy.